The parable of the rich man who stores up all these things in his barn and discovers too late, at the very last moment of his life, he discovered what really mattered. The wonderful thing for us is that we have the ability to be able to think ahead. There's a lesson, for example, that the most important things in life aren't things at all. Oftentimes it is at the end. If you ask yourself, though, what matters most? As I've been a priest for over 29 years, and I've had the opportunity to be at the moment in people's lives, at their deathbed, when they knew their life was very soon to end. And it seems I can think of three things that seem to matter to them consistently. What matters is who they love, who loves them, and where am I going when this is all over, when I take my last breath. Who they love, who loves them, and where am I going? Their relationship with others, those in relationship with them, and their relationship with God. Where do I stand? I remember thinking of, again, we can learn that lesson early in life, like the professor that once worked for a college and was about to receive tenure. To the surprise of his colleagues, he just up and left the school. And people were very surprised, and it turns out they had heard rumors that he had gone to teach in a high school in an inner city. And one day, one of the former colleagues was shopping in a store and saw this former colleague who had once worked and quit in the university. And he went up to him, and they greeted one another, and he asked, how are you doing, and what are you doing? He said, I'm teaching in this inner city high school. And he said, how he's actually happy and finding fulfillment. And then the former colleague asked a question he really wanted to know. And that was, what do you make? And he answered, I make a difference. How about you? What do you make? We see sort of a despairing view in the first reading from Koheleth. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Everything is in vain. He says, we can toil hard and work hard, but in the end, we all die. That's sort of a hopeless look, thinking that everything ends in the cemetery, but we know better. You see, it's not necessarily, everything doesn't have to be vanity, doesn't have to be in vain. If I can make a difference in someone else's life for the better, if I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or a song, if I could steer somebody in the right direction who's traveling wrong, then my living will not be in vain. If I could do my duty as a Christian ought, if I could bring salvation to a world distraught, if I could spread love's message like the Master taught, then my living will not be in vain. If I can decide now what matters most, what matters at the end is what matters all the time. What matters most at the end is what is the most important thing that matters. If I can remember that the most important things in life aren't things, then my living will not be in vain. No, your living will not be in vain.